Welcome to Natomas. We are excited that your child is participating in our early learning through our preschool and transitional kindergarten opportunities designed to support your child's success on their path to graduate as college and career-ready, productive, responsible, and engaged global citizens. Research shows that the early years have a significant impact on brain development. Building strong foundations with your child now leads to their increased success in the future. As your child's first teacher, your interactions and support make a huge difference. Each time you talk, read, and positively interact with your child, you are developing their brains and expanding their potential. Your child grows a great deal in all areas during this time. From the infant stage, toddlers begin to develop a self-identity, communication, and motor skills. At the preschool age, as early as 3, they refine their skills, become more independent, develop friendships, begin to understand letters and numbers, and develop school readiness skills. Beginning with our free half-day preschool, Natomas offers early learning programs that are developmentally appropriate yet provide a strong foundation for kindergarten. Through offering free half-day preschool, full-day transitional kindergarten, and full-day kindergarten, your child can get an early start to school success. More information on these programs can be found in the next module. If you have concerns about your child's development at any age, Natomas Unified can connect you with resources or support in addition to offering initial developmental screenings through the ASQ or Ages and Stages questionnaire. We also offer hearing and vision screenings through our school readiness program. We look forward to working with you as partners in supporting your child's growth and development as they begin their educational journey. Our next module outlines our preschool and transitional kindergarten programs, where the foundations you have laid for your child's success are reinforced in the key school readiness areas of social emotional development, language and literacy, and academic foundations. Thank you for viewing this video. We look forward to their development as college and career-ready, responsible, and engaged global citizens. Please help us improve our information and process by completing a brief survey regarding this module.
Here at Union House, I have 24 students. About half of my students speak English as a second language, and about 3 or 4 of them had preschool experience before coming to kindergarten. At the beginning, we established some rules and procedures, like how I would show them the cards and that they wouldn't shout out answers right away. They'd give everybody time to process and think. And then I would call on certain students, and if they were in agreement with that student's answer, then they kind of did a signal like this: I agree with you. And if they had a different idea or a different answer, then they did a thumbs down near their chest. Some kids do a thumbs up, I agree with you. And then I would call on several students, and they'd get a chance to tell what they saw and how they arrived at their answer. So we started out today with number talks, and I find it's a great way to get them all pulled together and working together to problem solve. Gets them focused on thinking about numbers and their patterns. And then after number talks, we move into the journal of the day. And always we review the prior day's math journal. And I just want to refresh their memory. This is an ongoing process, and there's so much involved in math that I want to remind them of the great learning that happened the day before, and then shift it to, we're going to do some more great problem solving today. And it just sets the tone, and someone can come up and be successful and be proud of the work they did yesterday and get us started for the new day's problem. And I like to use the children's names in the problem. It makes them excited and feel part of the problem. And then I like to elicit their help. I'm going to need your help with this, because they're 5 and they love to help their teachers. I always look around for some kids who really can show me what I think everybody should know, and so I pull that child up to come and share. And then maybe I look for a couple of other children who have a unique way of looking at the problem so that they can share too. And then we followed up today with the problem of the month, which was the question about the tricycles in the shop. So much of kindergarten is counting things, but I want them to be able to look at a 10 frame and see the patterns in it. Okay, if it's full, it's 10 automatically, I know that. If I see half of it full, I know it's 5. And if there's 5 and I see one more, then I can count on and know that that's 6. And then if you bring their attention to those patterns, then all of a sudden they're saying, oh, it's 5 and 2 more, that's 7. And so I just try to call attention to what the model looks like and can they see it in a different way. Well, we started out, of course, very simple, and then I added to the pile as they got good at the number patterns. But I know from doing this for a long time, and for me personally, not everybody sees the same thing the same way all the time. And so I tried to present the number patterns in different ways, so you might be able to access it one way, somebody else a different way, but then you'd start seeing how each other were doing it and picking up on different ways to learn it. All right, let's start our day and warm our brains up with some number talk, okay?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, get your eyes ready.
11.
Okay. Isaac, what did you see?
11.
11. Anybody agree with that? What did you see, Messiah? Can you tell us what you saw when you looked at that, Isaac?
Because 5 and 5 make 10, and one more makes 11.
That's right. He said 5, and 5 more makes 10, and he knows that 10 plus 1 more makes how much? 11. So smart. You ready for the next one?
Yes.
Your brains are getting really smart. Okay. What did you see, Adriana?
I counted and I looked at them.
You counted, and what did you see when you counted?
I counted them all.
You counted them all? Let me show you one more time. What did you see? Can you tell us how many you saw?
I saw 10, and then I saw 2 more.
10 and 2 more. What did you see, Rose, when you looked at that?
5.
5. What did you see, Simeon?
2 more.
5 and
2 more equals 7.
5 and 2 more equals how many?
7.
7. Okay, you ready for another one?
Yeah.
Okay. Summer, what did you see?
I saw 9.
You saw 9. What did you see, Tanoa?
9.
You saw 9. How about you, Marcus? What did you
9.
see? 9. Summer, tell us about what you saw when you looked at that.
Because I knew that 4 plus 4 equals 8, and 1 more equals 9.
That's right. 4 and 4 is a double, isn't it? 4 plus 4 is 8. And when we're counting on, 1 more would make what?
9.
All right, let's do another one. You ready?
Yeah.
Eliana, what did you see?
I saw 5.
You saw 5. Anybody agree with that?
Yeah.
How about you, Deja? What did you see?
5.
What's a quick way, Deja, to know that that's 5?
You can count half of a 10 frame.
Half of a 10 frame, exactly. And you look at a 10 frame and you know, okay, half of a 10 frame is how many?
5.
Easy schmeezy, right? Yep. Yeah? Okay, let's do another one. Okay, I think you're going to get this one. You ready? Ready? What did you see, Aiden?
6.
Anybody agree with Aiden? I do. Did you see 6, Felix? What did you see when you looked at that?
I counted.
Did you count them? Anybody else have a different way they looked at that? Eurydia, what did you see?
I saw 5, and 1 more makes 6.
5 and 1 more. What does this remind you of when you see a group of 5 like that?
Dice?
A dice, yeah, like a dice. Like here's a dice, and there's 5. And if I was playing a game and I rolled this, that's what I would count, right? 5 and 1 more makes 6, right? Okay, let's do another one. Let's see if I can find a tricky one.
Okay.
Ooh, this is kind of a tricky one.
What?
It's a big one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. What did you see, Summer?
I saw 10.
A 10?
13.
What did you see, Tanoa?
13. I saw
It's a big number.
13.
Did you see 13? What did you see? 13?
I saw 12.
This was a tough one. I see a double. I see how many plus how many? What's this?
6.
Plus 6. And what's 6 plus 6? 12. And one more would be
13.
13. That was a hard one. 6 plus 6 is a double, makes 12. When you're counting on, you're adding one more, it makes 13. Isaac?
I knew that because 6 and plus 6 equals 12, and I added one more equals 13.
That's what mathematicians do, right? They think things through and they think about, oh, I've seen that pattern before, or I know that number, and they think things through. Aiden, did you want to add something?
Yeah. Or you can cut them in half.
You can cut them in half? So did you do it like what? What did you mean by cut it in half?
You mean when you had 3 and you cut it in the middle?
Were you looking at it like threes?
Yep.
3 and 3 more makes how many?
13.
6, right? That's another way to look at it. Everybody kind of looks at numbers a different way, and then whatever best way they figure things out, that works. Okay, here's one. Ready? What did you see, Savannah?
5.
You saw 5. What did you see, Keisha? You saw 5. What did you see? Who wants to tell me what they saw when they looked at that?
I know.
Savannah, what did you see?
I see 3 and 2 more makes 5.
That's right. Like she did it with her fingers. I see 3 and 2 more makes 5, and you can count that 3, and you can count on 4 and 5, and we could look at it on a dice, right? We could say 3 and 2 more makes how many? 5. Is that addition or subtraction?
Subtraction.
It's addition, right? We're adding together, right? So we're taking 3 and we're taking 2 and we're doing what? Adding them. That's addition. We talked about counting on, and if they knew the top was full, it was 5, and they got really good at counting on 1 more and then 2 more and seeing those patterns. You know, I'll say, how did you know how many were there? And they say, I counted. And when I can call their attention, then I want them to see that that's 10 less 1 is 9. And then all of a sudden, they see less 2 is 8, and they start applying all those patterns on their own, just from hearing each other do it. Can I have Messiah, can you come up here, please? And can you show me 10? Come up here. Show everybody 10. And Simeon, you come up and show another 10. That's like having 2 10 frames, isn't it? So how many are they showing us?
20.
20. What if Layla got up there too and showed her 10? 30. So we would have 10, 20, 30. Could we go on and on and on?
Yeah.
What would be next? 40. Deja, get up there with your 10. Is that how much?
40.
That's like having 4 of these, isn't it? 10, 20, 30, 40. If Ileana went up there, how many would that be?
50.
Get up there with your 10, Ileana. Could we go all the way to 100 if we wanted to?
Yeah.
We could. All right, give them a hand. They did a good job. Come on back. Bring your 10s back to the carpet. We need them. Well, at this point in the year, we've done this a lot, and so I'm trying to get them ready for first grade, and I know that part of first grade is knowing your doubles, and so we've been putting some emphasis on that lately. You know, all the dice combinations, and then we've just been adding to it. And so now they know, oh, those are doubles. And so when they got good at the doubles, I did the doubles plus 1 to get them counting on, because I know in first grade it's a big deal. When I'm going around, I have my own journal, and I'm keeping track of what I see students doing. Certain patterns emerge as I look back on the journal. So, for instance, sign confusion. Maybe the same kids making mistakes between the plus sign and a minus sign. And so for me, that's something I can reflect on later. But for the sharing piece, I look at someone who's beautifully illustrated what I would hope everyone would be able to do. And then I look for a couple of other students who've done, come to the answer in a different way that would give other kids, once they saw it, a chance to go back and add that way to their journal if they hadn't already thought of it. And so then they're looking like, oh, I didn't think of that, but I can certainly go back and do that. And so those kids right on the edge of reaching it might go back and say, I think I can do that too. What I found with the journals is that so much of math is language. And so the journals is a great way to bring those two pieces together because it's so important that math is so language rich that when you can combine the two, it's a bonus. Are you ready to do some journals? Yeah. Okay, so let me have you think about what we did yesterday in our journals. Okay, so remember yesterday we talked about stickers. And we talked about that I wanted to give stickers out to my friends. Deja, do you remember the sticker problem from yesterday? And I said I want to give sets of 10, and we know that there's a bunch of different ways that we can make 10. And this is Eurydia's book from yesterday. Do you want to come up and show your friends about yesterday's sets of 10? Come on up. So Eurydia can remind us what we did yesterday in the math journal.
I did 8 plus 2 equals 10.
Uh-huh.
And I did 5.
That's that plus sign again. Plus
5 equals 10. And I did 9 plus 1 equals 10. And I did 0 plus 10 equals 10. And I did 3 plus 7 equals 10.
She did a lot of ways to make 10. Oh, that's good. So Eurydia, you showed us some combinations of 10. What do these represent here? What are these helping me with?
Circles.
And how come some are red and some are green?
Because those were the colors of the stickers.
Those are the colors of the stickers. And in this problem, she had 8. So how many do you think are red? 8. That would make sense. And how many are green? 2. And so we ran out of time, so she didn't finish the dots, but she made a lot of sets of 10. So that was good. All right, so today in your journal, we have a new problem.
What?
I hope you can help me because it's about Layla and Adriana today. Okay, so Layla brought some oranges to school. Guess how many she brought? 9. She brought 9 oranges to school. And because she's so nice, she shared some with Adriana. She gave her 3 of them. So she had 9 oranges and she gave 3 of them away to Adriana. What I need to know is how many oranges did Layla have left? So turn to a partner and talk about how you're going to figure that out. All right, turn back around. And I'm going to repeat, but I don't want to hear the answers yet. I want to see what you do in your journals, but I want to know kind of what you're thinking. So let me just make sure everybody knows what the problem is. How many oranges does Layla have? 9. She has 9. How many did she give to Adriana? 3. So I want to know how many she had left.
Okay.
Did you talk about with your partners if you're doing addition or subtraction? So she had 9 and she's giving some away. Is that adding or subtracting? It's subtracting, right? And for this problem today, I'm going to tell you that probably tallies aren't a good idea. So let's stay away from tallies, but you can draw pictures. You can write a number sentence. You might even be able to draw something in a 10 frame and figure it out, okay? But we're just going to stay away from tallies. I don't think they'll be helpful today. Get it? Good. All right, are you ready to get to work?
Yeah.
Good job, Felix. You got started right away. See, Summer's getting started right away. See, Sonali's got some work on her paper already.
9. Is it 3?
You show how many she started with, and what do you do when it's a takeaway? What do we usually do?
Exit out.
So you could show it that way too if you want to.
And she gave away.
There you go. Good job, Cameron. Let's see how many are in the top row. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 5 in the 10 frame. We need one more line right there. One more line so you have 5 on top and 5 on the bottom. There you go. Right. The picture, does that help you? Count them and kind of prove to yourself that you've got it going, got it right. Right. Good job, Simeon. Savannah, in the problem that we talked about, how many oranges did Layla start with? you remember in the story? I'll circle the number here so you can see it. How many did she start with?
9.
She started with 9. So what shape should we draw to show 9 oranges?
9.
What shape would make sense if we were going to draw some circles? So can you draw 9 circles for me? And then we're just going to show those 9 oranges.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
That's great. Now, it says that she had these 9 oranges. How many did she give away?
3.
What's a way we can show that she gave them away?
Had it.
What could you do to these oranges to show that she gave 3 of them away?
I take away 3.
Yeah, you can take away 3 of them. Why don't you cross them out or something to show we're taking them away?
3.
So,
She had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
so how many oranges did Layla have left? She had 6 oranges left. You could circle that. So let's look at this problem and make these numbers tell that story, okay?
Okay.
Because we want our number sentence to match. So, how many oranges did she start with?
9.
Okay, let's write a 9. I see that you drew a great picture here, and you drew 9, and you took 6 away. I'm looking here at the number sentence, and I'm seeing something that you should rethink. So you read that to me. What does that say?
9 plus 3 equals 6.
Oh, is it a plus problem? Are we adding those numbers together, or are we subtracting? Is she getting more? Yeah, we're subtracting. So is that the right sign for subtraction? Can you fix that, please? So when I'm considering a problem for the journals, I like to change it up. So I don't want the kids to get in a pattern. We're doing subtraction, because I think it kind of halts their thinking. So if I'm going to do an addition one day, I won't do an addition the following day. So for instance, yesterday's problem was combinations of 10, because we just did a math activity involving that. How many ways can we make 10? So that was yesterday's activity, and so I wanted them to remember that, so we recall it, keep it fresh, and then today's activity was a subtraction problem. As far as preparing the journals, you can do a couple of questions ahead of time. I just type them up quickly on the computer, print them out, and cut them up, and I glue them in myself because I don't want to take that time to get the glue out, and it really only takes a few minutes. And I run them on different colored paper from day to day, so sometimes for some children it's just another visual clue. Oh, it's pink paper, so they can turn quickly to that new problem, and it doesn't take too much time. So I do math journals 2 to 3 times a week, 3 times on a good week. And the whole process from the recall of the day before to the start to the finish is about 15 to 20 minutes. So when the children come up to share their process of how they came to the answer, it's really easy to just let them answer and move on. But I have to remember to recall for myself that some of the kids need to hear more, and they need to hear it in different ways. And so sometimes kids come up and they say, oh, I wrote them and I crossed it out. And so I have to stop myself and say, why did you write that? And what were you thinking? And for me, it's a whole new way of thinking, because it is easier to say, okay, you did this and you did that, but I want them to be able to tell me what they did and what they thought and why they made the choices that they did. When the students go back to their tables to work independently on their journals, that's my time to walk around and kind of listen in and watch what they're doing. And if I see someone going astray, then I can ask them a few questions about the problem. Now remind me again, how many oranges did Layla have? And where can I see that on your paper? And what did she do with those oranges? And then it gets them repeating the problem, using the language, and then it can get them focused back in the right direction. And then after, when they've had a chance to see their peers work, and they get back to their tables and can add more, I can use some of the language that their friends use to help them add to what they already have on their journal. I'm going to have you bring your book up and tell us what you did, okay? You can go up and be ready. Let's take a look at some good work. a lot of you had good thoughts out there. You had good ideas on how to solve that problem. All right, Aurea, can you go up and you can tell your friends how you solved the problem?
I did 9 minus 3 equals 6. I did an exclamation mark and I did 9 oranges and I crossed 3 of them out.
And why did you cross 3 of them out? Because
she had 9 oranges.
And what did she do with those 3?
She gave some away to Adriana.
She did. And how many oranges did she have left then?
6.
She had 6. And that you were doing an exclamation mark because you were excited. So an exclamation mark is a straight line with a dot. Okay, good job. Give Aurea a hand. All right, Summer, show us how you solved that problem.
I did 9 minus 3 equals 6.
Okay.
I did like oranges and I crossed out 3 of them.
And how about that 10 frame? What did
I
you
did
do?
a 10 frame. I put 9 and I crossed 3 of them out.
And to show how many oranges Layla had left, how many were there?
6.
There were 6. Give her a hand. That was really good. All right, thank you, dear. And Sonali, let's see what you did.
I did 9 minus 3 equals 6. And I did 9 oranges and then I crossed 3 out. And then I write a sentence. Layla had 6 oranges.
I liked how you did that.
And then I did a 10 frame. And then I did 9 and then I crossed 3 out.
To show that how many oranges were left?
6.
6 oranges. Give her a hand. So those were all some great ways to show how to solve that problem. If you didn't get a chance to show as many ways as you wanted to, and if you saw some good ideas up there and you think, oh, I could go do that. I could go back to my seat and I could make a 10 frame with 9 in it to show that she started with 9 oranges, cross 3 out because she gave 3 away to Adriana. I could do that. Or if you want to write a sentence or draw a picture, I'm going to give you another couple minutes to go add to your journals. Okay, so get back there. Go put some more good ideas in your journals. Are you going to add another idea? I see you have a lot of good ideas already. You're going to add one more? What else could you do to show the answer to that?
I can make a train.
Okay, you can make a cube train. Okay, go ahead and do that. Oh, what are you adding?
Layla had 9 oranges. She gets. I'm going to write.
You were going to write the sentence. Sonali had a good idea when she wrote it out in words in a sentence from you're adding that good idea. What are you adding, Marcus?
The word 2.
You're adding the words too. You're going to write a sentence. Okay.
9 minus 3 equals 6.
And I see you did it in a 10 frame and you drew some circles and you drew some things here. Did you see an idea up there that your friends did that you could add to your book? What else could you do?
I did oranges, then I did triangles and I crossed 3 away.
Tell me again.
I did triangles and I crossed 3 away.
I see that. Did you see something up there that one of the kids did that you could try to add to your book, like a sentence or something like that? Do you want me to help you write a sentence? So how many oranges did Layla end up with? She had 9 to start with. She gave 3 away. Like your problem says here, how many did she end up with? So could you say Layla had 6 oranges? Okay, why don't you try writing that down here? The second time the math generation team has come into my room, and I think it's fabulous. As a teacher, I really want to improve upon my skills. And a great way to do that is to have people who are experts come in and take a look at what you're doing. And I've gotten great ideas from the team and things I've been able to turn right around and use. For example, today they brought in the problem of the month, and it was really difficult. It was something my students haven't tackled before. And so it was interesting to see how could I approach a problem like this? And were my students capable of taking this on? And so for me, it was great. I saw who could do what, and I saw how I could take them a step further that I hadn't really considered before. Yeah. Take a deep breath. Because I have a problem, and I need your help. Are you feeling helpful?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you about my problem. It's up here on the smartboard so you can see it. It says problem of the month. the wheel shop. You see, there's this wheel shop, you know, a store, and in the store they sell tricycles. They do. Can you think about a tricycle? What's special about a tricycle?
They can make you learn how to ride a bike.
It's kind of like a bicycle. You can learn on a tricycle. What's different between a bicycle and a tricycle? What's different? There's something different about those two things. Tanoa? Like a tricycle might be more for training, learning how to ride a bike. What's the difference between them? Can you think, Isaac?
Because a tricycle has a big wheel in the front, and then there's two little wheels in the back.
So there's one big wheel in the front, and there's two small wheels in the back. How many wheels is that all together? Three. So a tricycle has how many wheels?
3.
Oh, it has 3 wheels. And how many wheels does a bicycle have?
4.
Two. So are they the same or are they different?
Different.
They're different because a tricycle has 3 wheels and a bike has 2 wheels. So listen to my problem. It's a tricky one. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a shop that sells tricycles. And in the shop, there are 18 wheels all together. I'm wondering if you can help me figure out how many tricycles are in that shop. Why don't you turn to a friend and just talk about what you heard and what you think about that problem. Yes, you can. Naisha, you can come over here with us. Come over here. So what do they sell in the shop? They sell tricycles, right? Say tricycle. How many wheels do tricycles have? How many? 3. And how many wheels did I say there are all together? 8.
Tricycles has 3.
So we have to figure out how many tricycles are in the shop. Did you have some time to think?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to go back to your tables and you each have a paper that looks just like this. And if you notice on the paper, there's some room here for you to try to work that problem out. Anyone have an idea what they might do to start out that problem? Summer, what's your idea?
Draw the bike.
Draw the bikes? That could be a good way to figure out the answer to the problem. Anyone else have an idea?
Draw us.
Araya?
Draw the wheels.
Draw the wheels? Okay. All right. Well, then I'm just going to let you go and try it out and see what works out. So I'm just going to remind you, there's 18 wheels in the shop, and I want to know how many tricycles there are in that shop. Get it?
Got it.
Okay.
Draw the bike.
Isaac has a really cool question. Will you turn around and ask the kids what you just asked me? Or what you said you can't do? You said, I can't
Draw bikes.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, so he triggered a question in my head. Do we have to, if we're mathematicians, do we have to draw the bicycles?
Yeah.
Because I heard some different ideas out there. So that's my question I want you to put in your head. Because I think drawing the bicycles might take too much time. So think of how you could draw a math model that could still show the wheels. Think about that. And I'm going to walk around and see what you guys are thinking about, okay? Here's my problem. I don't think I can ride a bike with triangle wheels. So what shape are wheels? What shape is that?
Triangle.
Are they triangles? What shape is that? Circles. So maybe you could just stick with circles.
Shouldn't have shown them an easy way to draw.
Well, see, now we can trigger with it. So we can pull up a paper or two. You want to do that? Let's wait to see how they start to
See if anyone's thinking about
Right.
groups of 3.
Yeah, because right now we're getting, it looks like I'm not counting, but 18 wheels. Because just like what you did in the journal problem is you took a paper and you said, oh, why did you do this or this? It's the same idea.
Ask some good questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
18. So that's 18. Where are the tricycles in there? Well, I don't know if you have to draw a tricycle. How many wheels does a tricycle have? Is there something you could do to your picture to show us where there's one tricycle, maybe another tricycle? Because you got wheels. Okay, we need to get someone up to share. Let's see. Hold on. Think about that, Ivy. Okay. Okay, can I borrow your paper?
And over here too, Summers.
So we've got two. Okay, so can I borrow your paper, and what's your name? Euredia. Did I say that right? Okay. And I'm going to hide that. Okay. We don't want that. We'll do a start. Okay. And what's your name, honey? Okay, so do your last wheel there. And I know you're not finished, but we're going to share this. Okay, kindergartners, if you could just leave your work at your table, put your pencil down, and come up and sit at your spot on the carpet, okay?
All right, have a seat. Do you want Keisha to come up?
Yeah.
Okay, Keisha, come on up here. We're going to show your paper. All right. So Keisha isn't quite finished yet, but she had a good start. So Keisha, do you want to tell your friends what you were doing here, what you were thinking? What did you draw?
I draw wheels.
You drew wheels, and I see here that you drew them in a certain way. There's 1, 2, 3, and then it looks like another set of 3. 1, 2, 3, and another set of 3. 1, 2, 3. Do you want to talk about that? Go ahead. What do you want to tell? Why were you drawing them in sets of 3 like that? You know what? I saw Summer. You kind of were working on the same kind of idea. Do you want to come up and maybe help Keisha explain kind of what your thinking was? Because your paper, I noticed, had the same kind of idea going.
Like if you have 3 kind of set, it helps because every kind of tricycle has 3 wheels.
Uh-huh.
So you can put 3 in a set.
And a set of 3 means what?
Like, it means that you don't have to do the whole bike, but you can do the wheels.
So you don't have to draw the whole bike. So if I'm looking at this set of 3, it really means that that's how many tricycles?
Like, that's all, a whole one, and that's a whole.
I see. So right now, Keisha has how many tricycles on her paper?
3.
She has 3 tricycles.
Can I ask you a question? Summer, can you step back for a second? You don't have to leave. You can stand on the other side so we can see. And Keisha, stay there. So there were a lot of kindergartners out there who said, well, I drew the 18 wheels. And then I said, well, how can you show the tricycles? And you had like a question mark. You didn't know how to do that. So can I ask you a question now? I want you to tell them what they did. You see wheels up there. How did they show where one tricycle? How can you tell? Show me on your fingers. How many tricycles does she have so far up there? Show me on your fingers. I see. Oh, I see a lot of 3s. So here's my question. How do you know there's 3 tricycles up there? Who wants to go up and show the 3 tricycles?
Adriana, you want to go try?
Show us
Go
the
up there
3.
to the smart board.
She made 3 here, and then 3 here, and then 3 here.
So where's one tricycle? Tricycle number 1, is that just that or what? What makes tricycle number 1?
The whole row.
Okay, the whole row, what do you mean by that?
She made all the tricycles, and then if she circled them, they'd be the whole row.
Can you use your finger and show us, circle 1 tricycle with your finger? Oh, that might be a good idea.
That might be a good idea. That would help you see the 1 tricycle, wouldn't it?
Because 1 tricycle has 3 wheels. That might be a good idea. Raise your hand if you could circle your wheels to show your tricycle. There's a good piece of advice. Thank you.
So Eurydia does her paper look the same or different from Keisha's?
Different.
Different. She did it a little differently, but let's hear what she was thinking. So what did you do, Eurydia? Mm-hmm. Okay, so do you see how she was moving her finger down She did sets of 3 going this way. Do you want to circle your sets of 3 so we can all see them? You want to do that? So there's how many tricycles? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, better stop. We don't want to give away the answer.
Don't want to. Okay,
Right.
so do you understand what she was doing though?
But
Okay.
she followed the advice. She circled what makes a tricycle. Yeah. This is really tough stuff that you're doing because we have 3 means 1. 3 wheels means 1 tricycle. That's tricky. Okay? Do you have some good ideas so you can go back and show your paper how many tricycles?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, walk back really carefully.
So now you've figured out you don't have to draw the whole tricycle, right?
What did you
Okay.
Good.
Isaac, can you tell me what you're doing now on your paper? Circling how many?
3.
Circling the 3s. Good job, Isaac. Good job, Felix.
Let me see, my friend. Oh my gosh, what did you do? Explain to me what you did.
I circled all 3 wheels.
Okay, so show me each tricycle. So now, I want you to count them. How many tricycles can you make with 18 wheels?
18 wheels.
How many tricycles can you make?
18.
Well, no, you have 18 wheels, but where's a tricycle? Show me a tricycle again. Oh, this whole circle? Okay, so if that's 1, how many tricycles do you have?
18.
Oh, I'm going to count. I see 1 tricycle, 2 tricycles. Can you count the rest? How many tricycles do you have?
3,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6.
How many tricycles did you make?
6.
6 tricycles. Can you write that down somehow? Yeah.
How did, when the girls were up earlier showing us, what did they do on their paper to show 1 tricycle? Do you remember what they did, what Eurydia did on her paper? Because this is showing me all the wheels, but what I want to know, remember, is how many tricycles are in the shop. So how am I going to go from this to figure that out? What could you do to show me tricycles? Yeah, draw sets of 3. So can you use a pencil?
You could pick 3 like you did to share. This is harder because you don't have everyone succeed.
Right.
Or not even 80%.
Yeah.
Yet. So you could pick
Okay.
if you want to. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's this art picture going on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know this unless you try it.
Right. All right, Sonali, do you want to bring your paper up? Okay. And Tanoa, do you want to bring your paper up and you can show?
R.
Okay. You can bring your paper up. And Aiden, do you want to bring your paper up? Okay. All right, friends, why don't we leave your papers on the table and tuck your chairs in and come onto the carpet.
I did 3 tires. I did 3 wheels here, 3 wheels here, and 3 wheels here, and then 3 wheels here, and 3 wheels here, and 3 wheels here.
Okay, and go ahead.
And then I circled it out of them
And why did you circle them? What does that mean?
because there's the tricycles have the 3 wheels.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I circled it.
So she said tricycles have 3 wheels. That's why I circled it. So when they said how many tricycles are in the shop, what did you come up with?
6.
6 what? 6
Tricycles.
tricycles. Okay, do you see that, Araya? Isaac, did you get that idea too? So she drew all the wheels, and then every time there was 3 wheels, she circled it up, and that made 1 tricycle. Good job, Sonali. Thank you. Give her a hand. All right, Tanoa, do you want to come up and show us what you were thinking about?
I did 3 and 3. I circled them, and I did 3. And then I wrote tricycles, and I wrote the letter 6.
You wrote the word 6 because there were 6 what?
Wheels.
6 tricycles, right? And there were 18 wheels. Look at this number 18. That shows how many wheels. So he put the number 18 up here because there were 18 what?
Wheels. Tricycles.
18 what?
Wheels.
There were 18 wheels, and how many tricycles did that end up being? 6. 6 tricycles. Good job, Tanoa. Give him a hand. All right, Aiden.
I did 6, and I knew that there was 8 because
There are 6. What are these here?
tricycles.
Those are tricycles. Do you want to just point and count your tricycles so the kids can see how you got 6? You can point right up there. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. And what happened here? I see that one's crossed out. What happened there?
I did too many, so I just X'd that one.
Did you hear him? He said, I did too many, so I just X'd that one out. That was a smart thing to do, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's right. All right, give Aiden a hand.
Will you go back a paper? Everyone, kindergartners, look up there. Look at that picture. Go back a paper. Look at that picture. Go back one more paper. Look at all three. Oh, Aiden's. Where's Aiden's? There we go. There's Aiden's. Wow. None of them drew a tricycle. So how do we know there are tricycles on their paper?
Because I stare.
Raise your hand to tell me. How do I know that there are tricycles on that paper?
I know.
I don't see handlebars. I don't see a seat.
They didn't draw.
How do I know that? Isaac, how do I know that those are tricycles on their paper?
Because they're circled.
What do you mean? Say more.
Because they're circled.
They circled what?
The wheels.
How many?
6.
How many
18.
wheels?
18.
How many wheels are on one tricycle?
3.
Who wants to add to what Isaac said? How do we know there are tricycles on that paper? Yes.
Because there's 2, there's 3 in there, and 3 in there, and 3 in there, and 3 in there, and 3 in there.
And what did those 3 stand for? 3 what?
And 1 is out.
Yeah, because he said he made too many, huh? Yes.
The wheels are like a half of the bike.
Yeah, an important part of the bike, huh? So you know what mathematicians do, kindergartners? Look at me for a second. Mathematicians don't draw art pictures. Artists draw art pictures, or when the mathematician is doing art, they draw art pictures. But during math, they draw what we call a math model. And a math model is quick and clear. So I can see that those are tricycles because all of the people who brought their work up grouped them in 3s. See? Look at them all. They're all in 3s. So I know that one of those circles stands for a tricycle. So mathematicians wouldn't take the time to draw the handlebars and the seat and the grass and the sun and the trees because that's too much time to solve their math problem. So these are math models. They did a good job.
That's good to know, that we don't have to use extra time drawing all those details. When we're doing beautiful artwork, details are important.
When you do your Georgia O'Keeffe, she paid attention to the details. But a mathematician, quick and clear. Can you say that to me?
Quick
and clear. That's right. That's what you want. Okay?
All right, well done. Good job. Give yourselves a hand. So I've been involved in the math generation, and it's really opened my eyes onto my teaching of math. And it's helped me to see that I can facilitate, but I can also step back and let my students be leaders in the classroom. And with the right questions, they emerge as leaders. And they really do have great ideas. And they really do see things in a way that I don't, but their peers do. And so being part of this math generation, it's allowed me to see things in a new way that I've been able to bring back to my classroom and share with my teammates. So it's been great. One of the things that's been so nice for me is that at the math generation meetings, we're shown videos of teachers using these strategies. And for me, that's the best way for me to see what it's all about. And so I've been able to bring those back and share them with my kinder and first grade teams. And so they can really see, oh, I get it. This is what journals looks like. This is what a number talk looks like. and they've taken off. They're doing math journals. They said one of the teachers made a comment that when the kids see them out on the counter, they go, "Ah, we're doing journals today." And what I've noticed with my own students this year with math is that they're really excited. And when it's math time, they're talking more, they're asking more questions, they're interacting with each other more. Where it used to be more focused on me and my delivery and them getting the right answer, now it's more focused on them thinking and talking and sharing, and they're moving beyond where even I thought they could go.